Alright, I'm Scott from Majestic Marble and Granite, Central Florida Granite Recyclers. What we're going to demonstrate here today is an application of a granite recycled paver. We essentially take the granite waste and do a 100% recycling. We press them into pavers. We can do pavers basically in any dimension that you can get a normal paver have. But the advantage of this being it's 1.25 inches, which allows us to overlay it over an existing patio without tearing up the concrete. You can also use it as a regular paver with a regular sub base as you would a normal paver. One of the great advantages of this is you can put it shiny side up inside the house, or you can do it rough side up, which gives you the texture of a normal paver. And once it's sealed, you get the beauty, and you can see from here in the house that we just did next door, you can see the beauty of the stone. And if you're a granite lover, you actually get to have the beauty of the granite with the advantage of having a paver and a low-cost application. And not have to tear up your existing concrete flooring. So we're going to be doing this in here today. Today we're going to be doing a 6x9 application, which is basically this size, with a 6x6 border around the outer edge. And the process is fairly simple. We're going to walk you through the process here. It's really one of the advantages. You just put it down over the existing tile or concrete or pavement, and then we're going to sand it in with a polymeric sand. Level it all out, wet it down, and then that binding agent in the polymeric sand will actually harden and give you a nice solid surface to work on. That's going to be beautiful for years to come. So we're going to walk you through a few of those processes. We're going to get started here and enjoy. Here we are, we start our application. Once you figure out your pattern and you know how you want to lay it out, it's a fairly simple process. You basically just get your pattern laid out, start putting make sure you have a clean surface underneath so you're not getting rocks, tips in it. Essentially start laying it out. Keeping in mind you want to try and keep a tape measure on it. And here's my line. You want to kind of keep pulling some measurements, making sure that you're staying in a straight line. But other than that, it goes real simple. We're going to show you, we'll probably have this done here. This area is probably done in the next half an hour. So what you're going to have is you're going to have some, especially in an application that's already, you're going to have places where you're going to need to notch them. You basically mark out what you need to have, take your measurements, get it marked out, and then take a grinder and just cut your pieces to fit like you would a normal paver. And we'll walk outside here and show you how to do that. Once you get it all marked out, what you want to do is you want to use a grinder with a diamond blade. Make sure you have your safety equipment on, your glasses, your hand tools, and just be careful when you cut it. This is the hardest part about the applications. This is where if you don't feel comfortable running your grinder with a diamond blade on it, you may want to get a professional to help you install these. So in order to do a notch, I just flipped it over and I'm going to make a cleanup cut on it here. and then it should be ready to be installed. Alright, so we just cut the piece to fit. Just slide her in and it's ready to go. Ready for the next ones. So like I said, it's if you're not comfortable with the grinder, you may want to have a professional help you cut the pieces. But if you don't have a lot of cutting, it's a fairly easy process to do. Construction project, the walls are never square. So we squared off the front wall, bringing it this way, and as you can see, we're going to have varying depths as the garage is out of square to the house. And then the screen is actually out of square to the garage, so we're going to have to custom cut everything. We've got everything else square coming off the main house wall. And what we're going to do is we're just going to cut these pavers down and transition the cut down over to the side by the screen area. And you can see over here on this side, we've also got varying, because the screen is not square to the house. And what we're going to do is we're just going to custom cut pavers, cut some slivers in there, and make it look all nice, but do the transition. There's no real way to make it actually, unless the house is built square, to make it look 100% square with the patio pavers. So we're going to get some work to do here on cutting, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, here we are. We spent the last 2 hours. It's taken us about 2 hours to get this all laid down. So now the next step, what we're going to do is we're going to use this special polymeric sand called Gator Max, and we're going to put the sand into all the crevices and then start the leveling process and get everything level and ready for it to be wetted down so that they can cure and bond into place. So that's the next step. We're going to start laying it down. See you in a few minutes. Brushing it around, bringing it nice and thick, trying to fill in all the cracks. You'll kind of know when you have it in there enough. What we're trying to do is get it to settle in and rock it into so we can start the leveling process. So you want to make sure you don't go short on your sand. Make sure you put in plenty there because we're going to be lifting them up and leveling them. So we're going to need a little bit more filling later. But we're just trying to, right now, just trying to get it spread around. All right, so now we're ready to start leveling a little bit. And you'll be able to see on the sand, you'll see some high points and low points. What you want to do is just use your basic tool like this. What you want to do is go and lift it up a little bit. You can kind of feel where it's high and where it's low, and put the sand underneath it to level it out. So this does two things. What it does is it allows you to level it out, make it nice and fairly smooth. But also allows the sand to get underneath there and bond into that surface underneath as well. So we're going to take about another 20-30 minutes here and we'll get all this leveled out and then we'll be ready for the next step. wait for the last step for today, which is going to be putting the water down and actually activating the polymeric sand, the Gator Max sand. So what we're going to do is we're going to start putting a little bit of light water in here. You don't want to overwater it. You have to wet the joints down. You're also trying to push some of the excess sand out of the way into the cracks. What we're going to do is we're going to wind up putting 2 coats on this. Put a light coat on it, and then we'll come back and put another coat. Alright, so we finished the installation. It's about 1:30, so it took us about a little under 3 hours to get this complete. It's all sanded in, it's been wetted down, and tomorrow we'll come back and put the final sealer coat on it. But we'll show some final pictures at the end of this video. If you want information on this one, you can give us a call over at Majestic Marble and Granite. We're located in Orlando, Florida, 407-857-2552.